Hello everyone. So today in this video, we are going to revise the concepts which we have already learned, but we will also learn a very new concept. So let me show you what we are going to do today. Let me share my screen to you all. So we all know this, when these events, when up, down, right or left key is pressed, we want a sprite to move accordingly. So it is very much familiar to you all. What new I am going to teach you in this? So I was playing this, game, one of my game, which one of my student had created, and it is very annoying. If the sprite is touching these boundaries, even then it is able to move beyond the boundaries. Isn't it annoying? I found it very annoying. So I thought, okay, let me take up this as a chapter today where we will learn if a sprite is touching the boundaries, how we can stop it. Okay, so, but this is not the only thing that we are going to do in this session today. We are going to do a lot more things. Using this new concept, we are also going to create a Star War game. Okay, so let me run it for you before we actually start coding for it. Let me run it for you and show it to you. So I run it. And we have this R2 robot, A2 R2 robot, okay, and this Rebel pilot, which is from the Star Wars games. Like these are the character of a Star Wars games, okay. So this A2 R2 robot is supposed to kill the maximum of the pilots, okay, maximum of the pilots, and it has got 3 lives. There is no time limit. It has got 3 lives, and it needs to take all these pilots which are wandering here and there. But same time, it also needs to save itself from these stones that are coming from here and there. It has got 3 lives, as you see. Okay, it has got 3 lives, and once the lives are over, the game is also over. Okay, so let me run it again for you. I run it. This is the robot. Every time it is touching the rock, the life is reduced by 1. And see, I am touching it purposely. When the life becomes 0 or less than 0, the game is over. So let's get started. And if you see in this case, see this robot is not going beyond the boundaries. It is never going beyond the boundaries. So let's get started along with me. First thing definitely that you will need is a new project. Okay, so create a new project. And when you are creating a new project, you will need all these two images. This A2R2 robot and this Rebel pilot. If you want to use your own sprites, that is also absolutely fine. Okay, but if you want to use these sprites, you like it, you want to give it a Star Wars flavor, I will share a link with you. Okay, so that link, you can use that link, you can remix the project, and when you remix the project, you will actually get all these images in your project, and then you can start along with me. So the link which I will share with you will be, something like this only, there where you will have these costumes, these 2 costumes, and an empty workspace where you can start your coding. Okay, so this is our reference project. What do we want to create? First of all, let's make it very simple. First of all, definitely I will have to pick a background and I will have to create these 2 sprites. So let me pick a background. You can pick any background that may fascinate you, or that you may like. According to your liking, you can pick any background. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I think this background is good. So I will pick up this background. Okay, I have taken this background and now I will create these sprites. So make new sprite, robot sprite, and another sprite. But another sprite we want to be multiple. So we will not use this command. We will use this command, because using this command, we can make multiple sprites in one go. Okay, and they are placed at a random location. So this is exactly we want with our Rebel pilots, right? So I'm using this command where it will make 3 pilots at a random position. Let me also resize, because resizing is very important when we are using a sprite. Otherwise, it seems to be, out of the sync of the canvas size and other stuff. So yeah, 50 is good here. I will also resize this pilot. Okay, for this also 50 is a good enough size. Now what next? What next? Next, very simple thing. We will have to move this robot using the arrow keys. You can use arrow keys or you can also use ASWD keys. It's absolutely your wish. I will use arrow keys here, and we all know it is an event that we will use. So we are taking this 4 times. When up, down, left and right arrow keys are pressed. Okay, so this is nothing new for you guys. You know how to do it. So when up is pressed, what we should do, or what the sprite should do, what do we want to do? We want to move the sprite, move this sprite 10 pixels north. So another thing, that new thing that we will learn, always not necessarily we will have to use 10 pixels here. You can use any number of pixels, or you can also use, you can go to math and you can take this random integer. Instead of 10, you can use this random integer and make it a little more interesting, where the speed of this robot is not known to anybody. It will be anywhere between 1 to 10. Okay, so sometimes when a player is playing, it could move with a speed of 1 pixel, or it may also move with a speed of 10 pixels, or so on. Okay, but it will be a number between 1 to 10 pixels only. Okay. Fine. So this was up. Now for down, it should move. Same we will do south, but the direction is going to be south. Now towards right. Right is east. It should move towards east. We are just changing the direction. This is nothing new for you guys. So I will be moving fast here. And you can also quickly code along with me. Okay. So we have done this. What is the another important rule of coding that I keep on telling you all the time, right? The important rule of coding is you code few lines, test it and see if it is working as you want it to be or not. And then again code. So you should keep on testing your code. So I will test my code here. I'm clicking on run. Okay, another thing, instead of when, we should use while. Yeah, so that is why it is important that we should keep on testing our code in between, so that if there is any problem or if something we are missing, we can quickly fix it. Okay, so I fixed this. I don't want to use when, I want to use while. I believe you remember the difference between while and when. So I'm resetting and I will rerun it. Yes, so now this is good enough. Fine. Actually, what is happening, if you notice, now all the time the speed of robot is not consistent. Sometimes what may happen, when it is going up, it is fast. When it is going down, it is slower. So to avoid it, I am thinking that we can use variables here. I can take a variable here, not this, sorry. I can pick up a variable. Okay, define it when the project is running itself. Okay, and give it a random integer. Rename it to robo speed. Isn't it a nice name? Okay, my variable names also has to be something that is meaningful. Now what I will do, instead of creating a random or generating a random integer every time when the keys are clicked, we will use this variable that will give it a smooth finish. Like, if the robot speed is set to 1, it will always be 1. And if the robot speed is set to 10, it will always be 10 for entire project duration. Let me show it to you. So I will go to variable. Now it should have this variable robo speed. So I will use this variable now everywhere. Okay, so Yes, I don't want this. So see, when I was testing, I realized, no, this is not a good idea. I should actually do it via variable. So testing is very, very important. Testing is important, but testing in small chunks is also very important. I will reset and run it. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so this is moving pretty fast. Let me reset and run again. See what's the speed. This time it is so slow, but the speed is uniform. If it is slow for this particular game, it is slow. So now it could be a luck factor when you and some of your friend are playing. It could be a luck factor, mood of the robot, how fast it wants to run. But yes, it is a nice feature. I liked it. Okay, so one of the another very important thing. One of the very important thing, that new thing that I was about to show you, what is still happening. This robot is still going out of the boundaries. I don't want it to go out of the boundaries, right? It should stay within the boundaries. So for this, there is this command. What is this command? This command is adjust block from moving. Okay, we will use this command, adjust block from moving. And we will change the sprite here. This we will have to use at all the 4 places so that my sprite doesn't move out of the any boundary. Out of any of the 4 boundaries, it doesn't move out. So we will use this command, adjust block from moving. Now let me reset and run it for you guys. Yes, now it is not moving out of the boundaries. You can see it looks neat and clean now. Okay, so what next? Next, we want, if my robot is touching the pilots, the pilot should, disappear. Robot should get additional point. And okay, so let's do that. Again, I will pick an event. What is this event? This event is going to be when one sprite is touching another sprite. My one sprite is robot and another sprite is pilot. What do we want? When my robot is touching the pilot, we want pilots to be removed. So I will use this. Or maybe instead of remove, I can say move to a random location and move, yes. Sorry, not this one. Jump to random location, okay? So this will jump to a random location. It will give a feeling as if, this robot has this pilot has captured by the robot and this robot has jumped to a random location. So, but as all of you know, this will not work, because what will happen if we are using it this way? Even if the robot is touching any of the 3 pilots, even if it is touching one pilot, all the 3 pilots will jump to a random location. Let me show it to you. Let me run it and show it to you. See, so my robot is touching only this pilot, but all the 3 pilots jumps to a random location. We don't want it like this, rather, the 2 has gone to a location which is not here itself. So we will use the object, means the object which is touched by the robot or by the subject only should move to a random location. Let me show it to you. Okay, so only the pilot which is touched by the robot moves to a random location. See it again, okay? Okay, nothing new for you guys here as well, but yes, again a revision topic. Good. So this seems good, but after that, we also want scores. What we will have to do for a score? For scoring, we should take a variable. So I will go to variable and I will take a variable. I will name it to, of course, score. And what should be the initial value? Its initial value should be 0, because initially there are no points. Robot has gained no points. Okay, and when the robot is touching the pilot, the score will increase by 1. So I will do that. Change the score by 10. So here I am changing the score by 10. Okay, not by 1. You can make it 1, 5, 10, whatever you wish to. So yeah, this is done. But to make it little difficult, we should give some behaviors to these pilots. So what I will be doing next, I will be giving some behavior to these pilot. So I will give it a behavior. Let me see which behavior I want to give. I will give it a behavior of wandering. Okay, let me run it and show it again, or basically test it. Yeah, now it seems to be a little difficult to play or to capture the pilots. Okay, I would also like to add one more command. When we are using left and right arrow keys, this robot should actually turn left or right so that it looks more realistic. So I will add this command as well. So when you rest in between, you yourself will realize if there is anything that you want to make better or something like this. So we will use this. When right is pressed, this sprite should face right, and when left is pressed, this sprite should face left. Okay, run it and test it again. Okay, it is actually going like this, so fine. But there is no way I can check my score here. So I thought to add two anchors or commenters who will keep on saying what is the current state or what is the current score. How is the idea? Do you like it? Okay, so let's add a couple of more sprites that will act as a commenters. So I am using this here. I am adding this sprite, going to costume, picking something from faces. Yes. So I can pick this and this. We need two. One that will be commenting the score, another that will be commenting the lives. The lives we are still to do, but yes, let's create the sprite here only. So one, this, maybe add this position, and another one who will be commenting lives. Yes, change the position here. Also resize them. Maybe a little more smaller. Let me make it 35. Better. Yeah. Sizing is very important. When you are creating something that you want to create extraordinary, sizing is very, very important. So you should always scale or resize your sprites. Okay, we have here two commenters who will be now giving us the live commentary. What is the score and how many lives are remaining and all. Okay, so here when robot is touching the pilot, we are changing the score and there should be a commentary as well. So we will put it here. Okay, fine. Now this is very important. We don't want it to say just hello words, right? We want it to say what is the score. So we will pick the score from variable. My score variable is here. Okay, let me run it and show it to you. Oh, so it becomes 20, 40. Okay. Wow, it is behind the pilots. It is behind the pilots. It is behind the pilots. Okay, great. That's good. But this 170, 180, 190, does it look like good like this? No. There should be a caption or there should be a level, right? What is this 200? What was this 180? What this girl is trying to say? So I will show you how do we concatenate the string with a variable. So this is going to this is again going to be a new learning for you guys. So please carefully take a look at it. So for this, we go to text and we take this, not this, sorry. We go to text and we take this command, okay? In this command, if you notice, there is a connector. So whatever comes in double quotes is a string. Whatever comes in a double quotes is a string. A string you can relate to, any name or a label. Any name or label that you want to represent in your game. Now what I am doing, I am attaching score with it. So whatever I write here like this, score, okay, it becomes my label, and after label the variable value will be displayed. Okay, so let me reset and run it again for you. Well, this time my robot is really slow, but luckily it got 10, 20, some value. Okay, but now you can see it is very clear. Score is 50, 60, whatever the score is. The robot is really very lazy. It has got some problem, looks like. Okay, fine. But now this game becomes never ending. When we are going to end this game? So what we will do to make it more interesting, we will add lives to the robot. Okay, so we will give it 3 lives. You can give it 2 lives, 3 lives, 4 lives, how many lives you want. No unused code. Okay. So what we will have to do for lives, again, there has to be a variable that will store the number of lives. So we will create a variable. We will rename it, rename this variable, number of lives. The name of the variable always has to be very meaningful. So how many lives you want to give it initially? I would like to give it maybe 3 lives. Fine. So we decided this robot will have some, number of lives. But we will also have to decide a scenario when the lives will be reduced and reduce it accordingly. So in my game, my imagination is saying, or in the game which I had showed you, basically, there were some rocks that were floating here and there. There was a ghost which was, going here and there. If the robot is touching those obstacles, the lives goes away. Okay, so let's create those obstacles now. So that obstacle could be anything which you wish to. That obstacle could be a virus. Okay, so that looks a good idea. Let me pick a few viruses from here and let me give them. Yes, okay. So I am picking these 3 viruses and I will add these 3 sprites. They look dangerous, so dangerous. Oh my God. Okay. 2 more. You can make rocks, you can make, ghost or whatever you wish to. Here I am making some viruses and I will create them at random location, not in any given location, because whenever the game is starting, the user or the player should not be able to guess where they will come or where these obstacles will appear. Right, resize. It looks too huge. The poor robot will not be able to make it anytime otherwise. Okay, maybe 35. This one, 35 is okay. Okay, and we will have to resize the other twos as well. Yes, 35, it looks good to me for all these 3 obstacles, but we will also have to give them behavior. Okay, so here I would like to give them different behaviors. All the three has got different behaviors, so that it becomes a little more tricky. Maybe this one, moving east and looping. We are giving this behavior to begin with. Okay, we will run it and see if these are the behavior that looks good, or we want to change the behaviors. How do we want to go about it? This one I'm giving patrolling. And this one I'm giving moving south and looping. Okay, so let me run it and see what's happening. Okay, so there is a mistake. This red one, I need to give the behavior which I have not given. Okay, so make new sprite at random location. Okay, this is the problem. This needs to go down. So let me correct it. So it's really very useful to always keep testing your code at logical point. Okay, so yes, I will reset and run it. Okay, now these behaviors looks good. They are wandering here and there, coming to a different location, and they are creating obstacles for this robot. Okay, yeah, finally this time the speed of the robot is good. Good enough. Okay, now we will have to code if the robot is touching these obstacles, what will happen or what should happen. So for this, again, we will go to events. And we will use this event when the robot is touching this or this or this. So I will make a copy of it so that it becomes easy. Okay, this or this or this. So what do we want? When the robot is touching this virus, we want to reduce the number of lives of the robot by 1. So this is the one thing that we will do. Okay, so we will go to variable and we will, either we can use change counter or we can use set also. So I will show you, let me show you set. How do we use set? Okay, so go to variables and we use this set command. Set what? We want to set number of lives. To what? We want to set the number of lives to existing number of lives and -1. Okay. So for this, we will go to math and we will take this expression. Okay. So number of lives is equals to number of lives -1. So if the number of life was initially 3, it will become 2, then it will become 1, then it will become 0. Same thing, I will copy paste to other 2 blocks as well. Okay, so that is okay. Another thing we want now this commenter. This should keep us telling the number of remaining lives. So same thing we will do. Go to sprites and use this. So this is going to say what it is going to say. It is going to say number of lives. We will use the same thing. We will use this connector and we will attach our variable to it. And we will say here remaining lives. Okay, same thing needs to go at other 2 blocks as well. So I will do it quickly. Okay, what next? Let's run and see if it is working or not. Yes, remaining life 1. remaining life 0. Okay, so life has become 0. Its life is now 0. But the point is the game is still not getting over. How we over this game now? Okay, to over this game or to decide that we want to over this game, we use logic. Logic, there is a separate chapter that I will be explaining you in detail. But for now, you just understand that from logic, you can pick this block. Okay, you can pick this block, and here you can write if number of lives equals to 0. Equals to 0. Go to maths and pick 0. If number of life equal to 0, what do we want? We want to remove all the sprites, okay? And we want to display game over message, and we want to display the score, okay? So when number of lives is equals to 0, first thing, I will remove all the sprites. So go down. There is a command using which you can remove all the sprites. I believe I must have told you this, but yes, again, remove. Okay, we will not use this. We don't want to use only this. We want to use remove all the sprites. So I will scroll down and I will pick this, remove all sprites. And what else we want? We want to remove all the sprites and we want to create a new sprite. That will be game over sprite. So we will also create a new sprite, a game over sprite. We again go to costume, pick the sprite. If you search with over, I think, yes, it comes, okay? This one. So we will create a new game over sprite here. We will resize it. I am resizing it to maybe 300 to begin with because it has to be big enough. And this entire block will go to all these 3 events. So I am plugging them, the same thing to all the 3 events. Fine, this is done. After that, okay, first let's run it and see. Remaining lives 2, it is also showing us the score, the robot again this time, yes, game over. But what about the score? We should display the score as well, okay? So to display the score, we will go to sprite. No, not a sprite. We will go to world and we will use show title screen. Here, not in title, but in subtitle, we will display the score. Again, because we want to concatenate a label and a variable, we will not use this block. Rather, we will use this block where we can connect a message with the variable name. Okay, and from the variable, I will pick the variable. So, game over and score. This is your score. And again, this we will have to apply to other 2 places as well. Same thing it has to be. So Control C and Control V. Okay, let's run it and see. Okay. So I made a mistake. Let me correct it. This should be inside. This should be inside. We need to display the title screen only and only when the score is 0, not if the score is something else. So I'm running it again and show it to you guys. Yes. Okay. Oh, this time this robot is playing pretty fast. It is playing good. 1 life is gone. Another life is also gone. Okay, game over. The score is 110. I hope you enjoyed this session. Quickly complete this and share your comment.